Good morning, everybody. It is day 10 of spring, or second day of mid-spring. And I have to say, every time I look at these trees, it's a wonderful sight after looking at the desolate early spring of the last 8 days, of the first 8 days. So we're going to go ahead and get on in our truck here and um, head on down to the arable farm where we've got our trailer and our cedars. So last night we finished loading up our 8 crates of seed and our 6 bags of solid fertilizer that we're going to use to fertilize our fields. And we brought it on over here to the farm, this farm over here. We've already had our worker out there starting to finish cultivating the field 19. And we're going to go over here and we're going to prep our cedar and get it all ready to go. So let's head on over here. So here we've got our trailer with our seed and our fertilizer on it. We just we're going to back up a wee bit so that we can unload it here. We're going to might as well load up or fuel up our tractor here, and we're going to drop our forks and our arms. Like I said, we're going to go ahead and fuel our tractor up while we're over here. We better shut the engine off, be nice, and start our fuel pump and start that thing fueling up with fuel. So this is the second time that we've refueled this tractor. The first time we let it get down pretty low. This time we didn't let it drop down too terrible far. Okay, let's go ahead and shut off the fuel pump. Up. Let's go ahead and back on up to our cedar. Like I said, we're going to put canola in the ground first. Or not canola, but barley. Sorry, we're going to put barley in the ground first. We're here on field 19, which is the same field that we are cultivating. Let's go ahead and open the seed door. We'll go ahead and fill this up. So based on course play, we will need to refill our cedar one more time because according to course play, close the lid. I think we need about 4,800 liters of seed to seed this field, and our cedar here only has 3,100 liters in it. So we're going to go over here and we're going to kind of let this guy sit for a little bit as we finish cultivating this field. I'd rather not start the seeding process until we're done cultivating, simply because I don't want to cultivate up any seed that we go ahead and put in the ground. We're going to turn this guy off and head on over here and just take the job over. By this guy. And let's try to get lined up here. And let's see if we can't get GPS set up a little better. Oh, stop. And I don't know why this thing always insists on a little bit of a offset. There we go. Alright, so we're just going to finish this field out, and when we get back we'll start our seeder and kind of do some seeding on the field. After we send our worker over here, we're gonna finish cultivating this field, and then we're gonna bring our worker over to field 14, because that's the field we're gonna put wheat in, and we're gonna get them starting to cultivate that field, and then we'll come back here and we'll finish seeding. We'll start seeding this field with barley. So that's the process. That's the plan, and I suspect you don't really need to see me use GPS to cultivate this field. So I'll leave you with this, and we'll be back in a little bit once this field is just about done. Alright, so we have finished our cultivating of the field, and we've went ahead and gotten our worker over on field 14 cultivating, and we're now going to go ahead and put barley on this field. So we're going to kind of start in a little bit of an unorthodox fashion. I think we're just going to set this up and basically run GPS in this direction. Now this is a 6-meter seeder. Don't know why you're wanting to do something other than that. And we're going to leave a little bit of room for a headland and drop her down there and start it up, and just get to going. So second crop is now officially in the ground, barley. We're going to use this as a straw. We're going to use the straw here for our sheep and our cows. We won't need a whole too terrible much straw, but we do have this big field in straw, 19, and we're going to put wheat in field 14. Those will be our two straw producing fields. Go ahead and spin on around here. So here's our dairy that we can sell our milk at. If we do the stop milk sale, or just unload our milk and everything. So for being a in-game seeder, I really do like this seeder. You know, it's quick at 12 miles an hour. It's got a decent working width. It doesn't require a whole terrible amount of horsepower, and it's got a fair amount of seed capacity. So you can seed some pretty good sized fields with this without having to go and fill it up constantly. So given that we have 14 days of spring left, I figured we would go ahead and use our 6-meter seeders to kind of tackle this job. No need to really be too worried about getting this done in a super quick fashion. We've got, let's see, we own 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 fields, right? That are left to be seeded. So I figure if we do field 19 today, and we'll see, it might take some of tomorrow. We do field 14 tomorrow. So if we do a field a day, we've got again 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 days left. 8 days to do 14, or 8 days to do 8 fields. But we have 14 days of spring, so that leaves us with some. That leaves us with 6 days left. So we've got plenty of time where we could take 2 days to do a field here and there. So, like I said, it's all about pacing, in my opinion, to do 24-day seasons. And if we need to lease some bigger seeders just to get the job done in time, well, then we'll do that. But again, we have 41-degree ground temp, and we can plant wheat, barley, canola. So we can do 1, 2, 3, and 4 fields at this point. So we can do 4 fields. If we look at our forecast, right now we've got a high of 54 degrees currently. We've got a high scheduled tomorrow of 58, 58 the following day, then 49 and 49, 47, 59, and 58. Now hopefully we'll see a little higher ground temp tomorrow and the next day. We've been at 41 for quite a bit. In fact, I think I was looking back at some of the older streams, not older streams, but some of the older videos that we had recorded, and I'm pretty sure the ground temperature was above 41 on those. So I'm not really sure why we had a drop in our ground temperature, but that's you know, we can only put in, so we'll be able to plant field 19, field 14, and field 15 and field 31. So we're going to put barley in 19. We're going to put wheat in field 14 again. Remember we talked about putting grass in field 15, and we talked about putting canola in field 34 or 31. So until the ground temperature rises to 50 degrees, we need to get 9 more degrees in our ground. We can't really count on germination of our corn or soybeans. And we're putting corn in 3 fields, fields 7 and 9. 7 and 9 are going to be used for chaff to go into our silage fermentation silos. Field 34 is going to be for our pigs as far as the corn production. And then soybeans are going to go into field 28, kind of just to fill out the crops. It's starting to rain. Let's see. Hopefully we won't get Hopefully the ground won't get too terrible wet. Let's see if we can find our let's see if we can see that lighthouse. I'm not seeing the beam. Now that we've got foliage and now we've got trees leaves, we might not be able to see it. I don't see it, so we're just gonna have to not worry about it. Since it's raining, let's go ahead and go on in cab here. This is a really nice interior for the tractor. In fact, these all of these side little buttons will light up at night. So if we hit the lights, we can see all these little buttons lighting up. The controls down here. Our AC controls will light up. So the tractor doesn't have any IC controls, but overall it's a nice dash. Nice steering wheel. Overall, I really like this tractor. I'm not really sure where I got the mod from. There are so many John Deeres out there, and so many are of the same general model. This one, the 6R. It's hard to really remember where you grab something, because you might download 3 or 4 and decide that 3 or 4 of them aren't worth having. And eventually you might find one that is worth having. By the time you get to that point, you've probably forgotten where you've been and what you've done. Unless you're super disciplined, you probably haven't written down every single site you go to and every single link to possibly keep track of, you know, what you've where you've gotten what from. So we're just going to do some more of this, and I'll just leave you here, and when we'll get back, we'll be toward the end of the day. So I'll check you all guys later. So we have obviously gotten a fair bit of this field already sowed with barley, and we're just going to work through the evening a little bit and see if we can get a little bit more of this field done before we turn in for the evening. We've already sent our worker home after they have put a pretty big chunk on the cultivation over there on field 14. So we are actually working on one of the second largest field that we have to work on here, and it looks like that had we actually gotten started on this field in the morning, first thing in the morning, we probably would have been able to tackle it in one day. So that's a pretty good sign for our seeding schedule and being able to get everything done in the next 14 days. So we're just going to go ahead and seed here for another hour or so, and then we'll turn in for the evening and come back here and finish the job up in the morning. We'll get our worker back there on field 14 doing some cultivation, and then we're going to move him over to field 31, which is actually the largest of our fields, and we're going to use our cultivator over there. At least it looks like it's based on the seed usage, our largest field. Now I guess our seed usage is a little skewed because seed usage varies by crop, so that's probably not that great of an indicator on field size, now that I think about it a little bit. But Our barley, wheat, and canola fields are the three fields that are going to consume the most seed according to our seed schedule, and the least is going to be our corn fields, which is rather interesting because corn is a fairly large seed as compared to a barley grain or a wheat grain. But not really sure. I guess they went and did some type of analysis based on, I guess, plant spacing and various other studies to figure out seed usage. So I'll be happy once it starts staying daylight for a bit longer. Right now it's still getting dark, around 7 o'clock ish, and it's at least in the morning around 6. It's daylight, so that's nice. But it's still getting dark a little early, so it would be nice to see it stay light for significantly longer. It's almost like it'd be nice if maybe we had really long days in spring, and then maybe during the summer we had really long days, and then well, it'd be nice if we had really long days spring, summer, and fall, and just left winter to the really short days. That would probably be the best. I'm not really keen on night farming. We've got really great headlights on this particular tractor, but on the single player challenge that we just finished, we never seem to have any good tractors, or we never seem to have implements that had good lights on them, which really left us kind of wanting more light in the evening when we were in our autumn and winter play. So we'll make this pass, and we'll come back one more time, and then we'll go ahead, fold up our cedar, and take it on back to the farm, and then head on back to the house. And hopefully we'll be able to get a few hours rest before we head back out here in the morning for our to finish this field off. This field won't take too terrible long. We went ahead and seeded the long part of the field, so all we've got now is the little short bits. And I'm thinking probably once we get this field seeded, we will go pick up a fertilizer spreader in the morning and see about swapping these tires out for narrow tires. I don't know if the 6R has that narrow tire option, but we'll see if we can't switch them out, and we'll see if first thing in the morning we can't fertilize our potato field and this field once we're done sowing it, of course. Meanwhile, we'll have our worker finish the cultivation over on field 14, and once they're done that, we'll start them cultivating on field 15, which is just across the street there from the house. Get those fields taken care of, since they are in such close proximity to each other. So that will be the plan of action for tomorrow. So go ahead and fold this thing on up. Turn our GPS off. We are running crop destruction, so we do need to be careful. We accidentally drove into the field of litter a little bit when we went in here to fill up our cedar. So we'll park them here and head on over here to our truck and go on into the house. So, thanks for watching, everybody. And if you like this video, please go ahead and click the like button. If you haven't not yet subscribed, please consider clicking the subscribe button. You'll get updates on additional content as it comes out. And then also I encourage you to go ahead and check out the PCSG web community and the Three Dudes Gaming Network. They are both really great web communities for adult-oriented gaming content. And when I say adult, I don't mean like dirty or anything. I mean mature and non-juvenile, non-argumentative. We don't put people down. We're not there to basically say go figure out where to find your own answer. We're there to help everybody out. So with that, guys, I'm going to go ahead and turn our truck off and head on into the house and bid you guys a good farewell. So until next time, guys, happy farming.